Hello again, welcome to another Thought for the Week here from New Inn Congregational Church in Lancaster Road at the southern end of the village. It's a beautiful autumn day, the sun is shining and it's lovely to be outside in the front of the chapel. I'm Cooke, I'm the church minister here. Thanks for joining with us again. This last week or so has reminded us how easily what we have said or done in the past can come back to haunt us. Letters perhaps that we've written, maybe emails that we've sent, tweets perhaps that we've put online, things that perhaps we'd long forgotten about can suddenly come back and bite us because what we've said has been offensive, or what we have said with the wisdom of hindsight perhaps we wish we hadn't said. We saw that particularly, didn't we, the weekend before last, with all of the fuss about Lord Mandelson and his association with Jeffrey Epstein. And of course last weekend the relationship between the Duchess of York and the same man who's committed such awful crimes in America. That was in all the papers, and the result is that she has been dropped as patron of a number of charities. Things that were said a long time ago, things that were said when circumstances perhaps were different, things that were forgotten, they suddenly reappeared and people are facing the consequences. Of course, when we think about that, we have to think about our own lives and our own hearts. We might not have shed any tears at the events the weekend before last. Perhaps we thought, well, maybe he shouldn't have been the ambassador in the first place. He had quite a history, didn't he, of doing things that had got him into trouble. But of course, it's easy to throw stones at other people, isn't it? Easy to think about the sins of others and not reflect on ourselves and our own lives. I guess we would all have to admit, wouldn't we, that if all the things that we had said, all the things perhaps that we had written to other people, things we might have said in emails, if they were publicly declared, if we became in a position of power and people went hunting for the things that we'd done, then we wouldn't be able to throw stones, because we've all sinned. We've all done things that are wrong. We've all said things that are wrong. We're all guilty from time to time of having attitudes perhaps that are not really right. And I guess that's particularly true when it comes to our words. The Bible's very clear, isn't it? If somebody doesn't sin with their mouth, then they're a perfect person. And we know that none of us are perfect. Of course, the Bible reminds us that everything that we say, everything that we do is seen by a God who never forgets, a God who always sees, who always notices, a God who is perfect, pure, holy, a God who cannot abide sin, a God who has to punish sin. One of the verses in the Bible reminds us that there's a day of judgment coming, and we'll be held to account even for every idle word that we've said. The reference is on the YouTube page. That's an awful thought, isn't it? Even if everybody else has forgotten it, even if those things that we've said and written have long been destroyed, God knows, God remembers, God judges. But of course, the great news of the Bible, the great news that we proclaim here week by week, Sunday by Sunday, is that God has done something about that. He sent Jesus, and the Lord Jesus Christ, the only man in this world, in its entire history, who never sinned, and never sinned even with his mouth. Jesus came, and he lived amongst us, and then he died on a cross as a sacrifice for the sins of everybody who would come to believe in him. That's good news, isn't it? Good news for us who are sinners and who have done those things that are wrong. We'd love to share more of that great message with you. We'll be here on Sunday at 11 and 5, and we'd love you to join with us. May God bless you. I hope to see you soon.